Well, hello there. This is Mr. Winkles giving you the fourth set of this Luxury versus BeSt OSL semifinal matchup. Luxury took the first two matches. He's going to be the Zerg. That's the blue Zerg down there in the bottom right starting point. And BeSt then came back to take the third in a match that Luxury thinks he should have won. BeSt really with an ingenious plan there, and I'll get about that, but I first want to just preface this game by saying this is a best of three, so Luxury realizes that when he took that 2-0 lead, he was going to have three chances to finish off BeSt, and BeSt, who looked like he was in great shape coming into this tournament, found himself down in that position knowing he'd need to win 3 in a row, so he's done the first part of that, and what makes this game 4 so exciting for me is that he knows that if he wins this one, he's forced a winner-take-all with all the momentum on his side. So Luxury definitely does not want to really take the advantage that he's earned, so to speak, and go to that Game 5. He wants to finish him off in Game 4. I expect we're going to see a really intense and high-paced battle. So we have the Protoss there laying down the first pylon at the expansion. Of course, that expansion has a gas, and that will lead towards my believing that he will do the fast expand build, which works against the Zerg, especially in Othello, which I've seen most of the Zerg players. I believe we saw July play here in the round before, and he did a 12 hatch build, which I would guess Luxury would do as well. The economy build, nice on Othello, 4-player map. Tough exactly to get anywhere with the Zealot Harass, and you can get that expansion up. But that fast expansion build is going to give Protoss the two expansions against the Zerg 2 expansions. Oh no, he's not doing a he's not doing a 12 hatch. He's actually putting down the spawning pool and an extractor, so that makes me think maybe early speedlings, early layer tech, something of the sort. Forge is down, and the Zerglings coming this early, I believe, is going to make it so that BeSt is going to need to put down that those cannons before the Nexus. Not going to be able to cheat a bit and get the early economy boost from that. But we'll see what he decides to do. They'll show us back here if he's going to lay down in base. Meanwhile, Zerglings coming up. It looks like 6 of them. No, he's put down the Nexus before any cannons. He believes he can make it in time and get those 2 cannons up, maybe with a couple of Zerglings to block before the Zerglings arrive in the base, and we'll see if this gamble pays off. And it looks like it will, or he's sending 1 Zergling off to try to chase down that probe. He's sending the other 5 to try to take advantage of this. Of course, he doesn't know that there's an advantage to be taken advantage of, but he's going to try and poke out there with the Zerglings. That's what you got to do against the fast expand build, and if he does cheat him, then he'll be alright. That first one's going to warp in plenty of time. The second one I'm not so sure. We got now 3 Zerglings back. Second one should be up in time as well. So that fast Nexus will pay off just barely. Well, we'll see here. It's not quite warped in yet. He might still be able to run them by, and he chooses not to. He had a split second to make the decision. I think he made the right one. He only had 5 Zerglings, and unless he had some sort of godly micro, which who knows? Luxury is very good. Might have been able to do some damage, but the gateway is now down, and Zerg has lost the early opportunity to get by those cannons. Of course, the opportunity for a Ling Break still there. He's got 8 Zerglings, but I think that Luxury will sit back and try to play a little bit more safe game than that. Although he is sending quite a few Zerglings out there. He knows the BeSt build, as before, is susceptible to a counterattack if he does not, if the BeSt, that is, the Protoss, cannot get the scout out to figure out exactly what's happening. That third cannon is a reminder that he does not want to be broken by Zerglings, and he's going to give it a try. He's going to try to run through. He pushes that probe out of place. He's trying to, he goes by. He's going to get all these in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in. 7 Zerglings in behind the base. Is it down to 6 now? Down to 6, but he's got 6 Zerglings and their speed upgrade. He's going to try to take out the Nexus. He's going to go straight for the Nexus and try to take this out. Probes are going to have to respond very, very quickly here. BeSt is going to be going around the Zamila. Zerglings. If he can take out this Nexus, this might be GG right here. Luxury trying to take out these probes and take out the Nexus. He's going around trying to pick out this stray probe. The Nexus' shields are already down. Losing a couple probes here. He's taking out some major damage. This is a great play here by Luxury to spend the extra money on those Zerglings right away. And here he comes on the Nexus. He's got to do something about that Nexus, about those Zerglings all around his Nexus. The pros right now really trying to figure out what's happening. And there, they wall the Zerglings off. The Zerglings come back in. The Nexus is on on fire, people, and here comes the first Zealot. He's really going to have to use this well and micro it around. One Zergling goes down, but more and more probes dying. This is all really great attack here coming. He's going to take a pot shot at the assimilator and try to surround the Zealot. It looks like both players microing intensively. The Zealot's all by himself. He needs to get some probes out there around with him. Loses another 2 Zerglings, but they're still doing massive damage to those probes back in the back line. Meanwhile, the expansion's going up for Luxury. He's pulling more and more ahead with every probe he can kill. That Nexus is still on fire. I don't think he's given up on trying to kill it if he can micro around well enough. Those speed upgrades are really good. The Zerg can really take advantage of those speed upgrades because the Protoss does nothing that fast in the early game. And in fact, I don't think they get anything that fast really at all. Maybe Corsair, I don't know. But they picked out another one and loses a Zergling. Definitely BeSt will be smarting about that. He thought that he should have been able to micro around. He's going in for another kill, and maybe those vulnerable gas probes, but no, he micros away that probe. Meanwhile, this is just so very, very annoying for BeSt. Those Zerglings still in his base. I don't know if we got a timer up here. No, we don't. My timer says we're about 5 minutes into this game, and still, no, 6 minutes into this game, and those Zerglings are still around the base. Scouting probe killed. This is just getting worse and worse for BeSt. He's got to figure out some way to get out of this hole he's in, and he's up 2 base on 2 base, but I believe that's a 3rd Zerg base going up at the natural expansion. That's a 3rd Zerg gas as well. So Luxury here in great position. Those Zerglings finally killed off, but they died heroes' deaths, and here comes a Spire. This is going to be a lot of fun. He knows that he's slowed down that tech quite a bit, and he's hoping that he won't have any anti-air, or at least enough anti-air. Here's the Stargate. The Stargate's going to be absolutely crucial for getting that scouting out, because he needs that Corsair, and he needs it now. Zealot and a Dragoon right now trying to wall up that hole, but it don't look like they're doing it terribly efficiently. I'm thinking maybe some sort of mutiling attack is Luxury's plan here out of 3 hatcheries, going for those mutalisks, and we'll see if that's really his plan. Seems like it'd be relatively strong against the Protoss, who's very low on probes, so he's not going to have a lot of units. He's not going to have a lot of anti-air or anti-ground. And maybe just a massive assault on that front will be able to cause Luxury to cave. But he's trying to sneak around that probe. And look at that, just unlucky, it hits the Overlord, and he's going to be able to wipe that out completely. Another use again for the speed. Huge amount of Zerglings that completely surrounds that probe. Probe is going nowhere. That's a bad job, people. If they ever say, hey, we want you to be a scouting probe, and you say, like, okay, well, maybe I'll go do that, I have advice for you. Don't, because you are going to die, especially if you're up against Luxury and his crazy speedling micro. Okay, here comes the first Corsair. A robotics facility now up in the main. We have more hatcheries going down here in the main of Luxury. The Corsair sees the Zerglings heading over. BeSt is going to be on his guard for those, but meanwhile, Scourge already out. They're already out to counter that Corsair. Before he even saw it, he knew that BeSt was going to be going around and trying to get scouting, and the only information he gleans from that is that that Luxury does have a Spire in order to completely kick his ass in that countering move. Luxury, again, so far taking all the little exchanges that have that really make up who's going to win the StarCraft game, and he's definitely leaning towards him at the moment with his 3 bases against BeSt's 2 partially functioning bases. Of course, he took out so many probes that can't really call them up fully at this point. Shuttle coming out, that means we're going to see a Reaver, I'm guessing. There are no islands on this map to expand to, so not much there. So he's going to camp those. No. He's got a Dragoon there to stop the camping Scourge. Meanwhile, he sees all these extra hatcheries. That's 5 hatcheries already coming from Luxury. So Protoss right now knows there is going to be some sort of attack coming at some point. I mean, like, okay, maybe that's not great information, but those 5 hatcheries, he's going to try to intercept the Corsair with these Scourge, and he didn't quite have his head in the game in order to see it happening. 1 Scourge pairs off. He doesn't want to lose that. Definitely 2 more Corsairs over there, a 4th coming out from the Stargate as we speak, and another hatchery going up, added expansion, so a 4th Zerg expansion going up. He's going for a massive economy, massive unit build, kind of Sauron Zerg kind of thing, where you take over the entire map, but we're going to see what he does here. I believe there's a Reaver and 2 Zealots in that shuttle. I would expect there to be 2 Zealots. I know there's the 2 Zealots, and I'm guessing there's the Reaver in there, because you don't load 2 Zealots up into a shuttle after having the robo up for that long. Some more Corsair killers up there in those Scourge. They're going to try to intercept him, and he pulls back smartly. He does not want to risk losing Corsair